Hello, buddy, and welcome to a tropical update here. This is a wide look at the Atlantic right now, and you can see really only one system in town right now, a name system, tropical cyclone in town right now, and that, of course, is tropical storm, newly formed tropical storm Epsilon here in the open Atlantic. Just to the southeast of Bermuda, as you can see there, the end of Bermuda is right about here. Our mouse cursor is, if you can't see it too well, and still that area of interest in the Caribbean to potentially watch here. Really low chance of formation. Actually, the chances have gone down still in this newest update from the National Hurricane Center. Go ahead and take a look at it here, and you can see information chance for the next 40 hours is a low 10% chance, and information chance for the next 5 days is also a low 10% chance. Not to say it's impossible for it to develop, but at this point, the models keep are persistent on this storm, not really developing and amounting to much here. Fortunately, in terms of a tropical cyclone, unfortunately, still this storm is likely to be a flash flooding threat to parts of the Western Caribbean here, northwestern Caribbean here, as it kind of progresses on throughout the next day or two. Well, it has a chance to really develop here, from what the National Hurricane Center is saying in the latest update. And here's a look at the key messages for newly formed tropical storm Epsilon. Now you can see the forecast cone right over to the top right of your screen there. And there's really one main key message here from the National Hurricane Center. They say Epsilon is forecast to be at or near hurricane strength when it approaches Bermuda late this week. While it is too soon to determine the exact details of Epsilon's track and intensity near the island, there's a risk of direct impacts from wind, rainfall, and storm surge on Bermuda, and interests there should closely monitor the progress of Epsilon. And that's the key message from the National Hurricane Center here. And here's a closer look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center here um, for newly formed tropical storm Epsilon as of Monday, October 19th. And the center is currently located at 25.3 degrees north, 55.3 degrees west. Maximum sustained 1 minute winds at 45 miles per hour, moving due north at 2 miles per hour there. And it's forecast to peak as an 85 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane here as it either nears or comes really close to maybe perhaps making a landfall, since they are technically still on a cone uh, over the island of Bermuda here. However, I will say the general consensus with the models is that the storm will just miss making the landfall and pass Bermuda to the east here. But there are still, of course, a few models that have the storm making landfall right over Bermuda. So I just wanted to be aware of that. And here's a look at the storm right now on satellite imagery here. And you can see a well-defined tropical cyclone here, getting better and better organized here by the coming hours here, as you can see on the satellite loop. And the center circulation is actually a little bit off to the northeast of where that convection is firing off, but I'm sure once the center circulation gets right under those deep convection, then the storm could easily intensify a little bit more than it is right now. I'm not saying rapid intensification is on the cards here, but I'm saying that it could easily intensify into a Category 1 hurricane here, like the National Hurricane Center is predicting for Tropical Storm Epsilon to do here. And of course, here's water vapor imagery of Tropical Storm Epsilon right there, and you can see a wider picture per se of planes right there. Interesting note here with Epsilon, with the formation of Epsilon. This is the earliest uh, use of the name Epsilon here since they started using the Greek naming list for tropical cyclones, which they did in 2005, and before that, no other time. So the last time the name Epsilon was used was when Hurricane Epsilon in 2005 formed on the 29th of November 2005. Uh, Tropical Storm Epsilon 2020 this year, of course, formed on October 19th, 2020, so over a month before Hurricane Epsilon of 2005 formed. So another little interesting tidbit there. It's really another record-breaking system in its own right here in terms of naming list and timing for the storm. So another little interesting tidbit that you guys might want to hear. And of course, switching basins here. Here's a look at the Western Pacific right now. We got Tropical Storm 19W, also known as Saldel, about to make landfall here over the Philippines as a 45 mile per hour, not 45, excuse me, 40 mile per hour or 35 knot tropical storm here before it eventually enters the South China Sea and has a chance of re-intensification here. Then, of course, you see 97W right there uh, above Tropical Storm 19W right there. That has a high chance of formation. And here's a look at Tropical Storm Shaldell on the JTWC forecast count. Again, they forecast to make landfall as a 35 knot or about 40 mile per hour tropical storm here over the Philippines, and eventually going out back over water into the South China Sea this time, and peak as a 60 knot or a 70 mile per hour high end tropical storm here before either making landfall. Looks like over Vietnam or either in China there, as you can see, South China, as you can see there. And here's water vapor imagery of tropical storm Saldell right there. And you get to see how the storm is organized through the past 3 hours here as it nears landfall over the Philippines there. And a quick reminder of the Greek alphabet tropical cyclone names. Again, of course, get ready to cross out alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and now epsilon now. And the next name up would be zeta. And you can see here, zeta is the furthest into the Greek alphabet. The Atlantic season has gone. 2005 holds the record for that still. And that's going to be a remarkable feat to see if we cross that bridge here. And we most certainly can, since we're still in mid-October here, so we could easily cross that bridge, and we could easily tie the record for named tropical cyclones here in the Atlantic hurricane season. Keyword named. I believe the most tropical cyclones in general, including the unnamed tropical cyclones, is still 2005, because in 2005, I believe it was an unnamed, I think it was subtropical storm that they found in post-analysis, so that brought up the number, I believe, to 28 total tropical storm. 4 storms or stronger that season. So um, if we enter into Zeta, if we pass Zeta here and we enter into Eta, then of course we would tie 2005 in terms of storm numbers. But in terms of storm names, if we get Zeta this year, we'll of course tie 2005 in terms of named storms. If that makes any sense. Hopefully that made sense. Apologize if that was confusing. But that's going to be about it for this topical update here. So hope everybody, well, not before I say that, summary key thing to take away from this topical update. But we need to keep a close eye on tropical storm Epsilon, which could become Hurricane Epsilon here over the next few days here as the system starts to get better and better organized. Philippines, of course, stay safe with tropical storm 19W, and also you guys in Vietnam and China to be watching 19W, tropical storm 19W also really closely, as it may try to re-intensify here when it enters into the South China Sea after it goes over the Philippines. So again, that's going to be about it for this topical update here. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. And I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. The links for websites, and websites that I use are down in down in the description below if you want to check those out and click on them to see what I use for this topical update. And again, that's going to be about it from me. Hope everybody has a great day night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.